Ethical dilemmas in the 21st century are more frequent and complex than ever before. Rapid technological advancements and societal shifts create difficult moral quandaries for people and businesses every day. What is an ethical dilemma? An ethical dilemma arises when one's morals conflict with another factor. It's a decision point, like choosing between paths at a fork in the road, but each path represents different values or principles. For example, finding a wallet full of cash presents such a dilemma. Honesty, a moral imperative, suggests returning the wallet intact. Financial hardship usually will force people to keep the money they found. This stems from self-preservation or the need to provide for their family. These motivations connect to two philosophical concepts: consequentialism, which judges morality by results, such as using found money for food, and deontology, which focuses on an action's inherent rightness or wrongness, like returning a wallet because it's the right thing to do. Many modern ethical dilemmas require nuanced moral considerations beyond legal rights and wrongs. Therefore, we must always ask ourselves, what kind of person do I want to be today? Ethical dilemma. Number 1. A paradox of technological progress. Technological progress presents a paradox. Innovations can open doors to knowledge and freedom, yet they can also create new dependencies and dangers. This paradox arises because technology is not neutral. It's not simply a tool that follows our commands. Instead, technology can shape our lives in unforeseen ways. Smartphones are remarkable tools. We hold vast amounts of information in our hands and can connect instantly with people worldwide. This seems like clear progress. However, these same devices can be addictive, spread misinformation, and weaken personal relationships. These are significant challenges to the idea of progress. Philosophers offer insights into this paradox. Martin Heidegger argued that technology is more than just gadgets. It's a way of understanding the world that can limit us to what can be measured and used. Marshall McLuhan famously said, "The medium is the message." Technology doesn't just transmit information, it shapes how we think and communicate. Technology can extend our capabilities. This creates a paradox. It may amplify our best qualities, such as inventiveness and sociability. However, it can also amplify our worst, like greed and isolation. Navigating the complexities of innovation requires careful planning. We must steer our progress toward a true north, ensuring that humanity genuinely benefits from our advancements. Number 2, globalization and ethical pluralism. Picture a global potluck dinner. Each country arrives with a unique dish, representing its ethical framework. These frameworks are often passed down through generations, much like cherished family recipes. Now we are all eating together. However, thanks to globalization, the flavors sometimes clash. This phenomenon illustrates ethical pluralism. In our interconnected world, different systems inevitably interact. Consider the adage, "When in Rome, do as the Romans do." This saying embodies cultural relativism, which posits that notions of right and wrong are relative to a particular culture. What happens when a cultural practice deeply offends people from another culture? Consider wearing fur. For many, it is a perfectly acceptable tradition. However, numerous others view it as a cruel and unacceptable way to treat animals. On the other hand, there are universal moral standards. These can be thought of as fundamental rules of conduct that apply to everyone, regardless of their individual circumstances. For example, many believe that basic human rights such as freedom from torture should be universally respected. Navigating this global potluck requires tolerance and understanding. We must enjoy the diverse ethical dishes presented. At the same time, we must agree not to put anything harmful on the table. This goes beyond simple politeness. It is a philosophical necessity for peaceful coexistence. Whether you're offering freedom fries or promoting nonviolence, open minds and respectful hearts are essential at the global table of ethics. Number 3, freedom of expression in an era of cancel culture. The rapid spread of information through social media highlights a timeless dilemma. How can we reconcile the fundamental right to freedom of expression with the potential harm caused by our words? Cancel culture exemplifies one way this debate unfolds. It suggests a social consequence, akin to being silenced, when a significant number of people disapprove of one's statements. Consider a virtual town hall setting where you have a microphone, free to express any thought. Philosophers like John Stuart Mill champion this freedom of speech. They recognize the profound value, potentially even society-altering truths, in allowing all voices to be heard, even those deemed irritating or offensive by others. Words have power, and like a match thrown into dry grass, they can ignite real harm. This raises complex ethical questions. How do we balance society's need for open and vigorous discussion with a person's right to be protected from damaging falsehoods and abuse? The philosophical conundrum deepens when we consider whether any restrictions on speech are justifiable. Should societies tolerate the intolerant? Karl Popper argued that unlimited open-mindedness carries a risk. If a society tolerates absolutely everything, its very openness can be destroyed by those who are inherently intolerant. Freedom of speech encompasses more than simply the right to express oneself. It also involves the ability to be heard. Furthermore, society as a whole plays a role in determining the boundaries of acceptable speech. So, what ethical dilemmas are we facing today? Today's world is full of ethical dilemmas. For instance, we grapple with the morality of creating potentially conscious artificial intelligence. We also question whether technology ultimately improves humanity or exacerbates our inherent weaknesses. Furthermore, navigating a globalized culture requires us to consider which moral principles should take precedence. When it comes to biotech, how much should we try to play God rather than innovate? The digital economy presents new challenges to fairness. Its growth has contributed to unequal wealth distribution. Therefore, we may need to develop a fairer system to address this disparity. As cancel culture expands, a critical question arises: at what point does it infringe upon the principles of free speech? These aren't just theoretical questions, they are real problems. Each one demands good judgment, kindness, and serious thought.